Just like put something stupid in your, like put some sort of waste receptacle. Like if you want to make it for human waste, it makes it even more receptive for people to just not give you shit, pun intended. You know, like just no one really bothers trying to take you seriously if your name is Outhouse.
Yeah, that's why.
That was awesome. I love how Pia just smashes butts the whole time. That's so classic.
Wait, hold on. Smashes butts the whole time?
Yeah, he does.
You guys turn every.
Oh, come on, we didn't have to try on that one.
Yeah, I walked right into it.
Wait, hold on.
That would
I
actually
feel
took
like
me a
this
minute
is
to get the
cycling.
right interpretation.
I feel like we're circling back around to the rubber gloves incident, and I don't
yeah.
know about this, man. Wrong direction.
I remember the first time Peter was on Trade Addicts, and we're sitting there talking, and he's just like, smokes 3 minutes later, and I'm literally just like, how high are you getting? Oh my god! And he's like, no, they're just cigarettes. I'm like, oh, well, you smoke too much anyway, man. You should probably calm down with that.
Or just switch to the good stuff. Dan and I had like a bet going. We're like, after we were done, we're like, do you think it was weed or do you think it was tobacco? We're like, I don't know.
Dude, if that was weed,
It's illegal here,
he'd be
man.
straight up. He'd just be passed out.
He'd be in a coma.
Nice to know your new boss doesn't have any faith in you, man. Come on.
He'd start. He changes his handle to PA. How?
Yeah.
PA.
He's like on his 18th tube, you know,
How?
just rocking it.
PA. How?
BA, y'all got any chips?
Oh man. When I was a kid and I didn't understand what marijuana necessarily was, I remember my stepdad coming down the stairs and literally just going like in front of the pantry, and then like I hit like 12 and I'm just like, oh, all right.
I spent, those frustrating moments when you're a kid and they tell you, you'll understand when you get older. I always meant to write those down because now I can't remember what they are, and now I'm older and I could figure it out, and I still don't know. It's very frustrating. I stay up late sometimes thinking about that. Thanks for the triggering there, Russ. Appreciate it.
Hey, even Olaf says
No,
it's
seriously.
going to make sense when you get older. Because when you're older,
I don't
No,
know.
because they say that's how you when you're older, and they never remind you.
Should we be trusting a
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Don't look, man. Don't you go?
I know
as
you're all
Olaf.
froze. I know you're all frozen. Not only on your takes.
You know where I'm not frozen? In here.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm pointing to my heart, all you people that aren't watching live.
That's true.
Fake news.
That's true. One of the best soliloquies ever on the open bar, held by you. We should do an open bar awards every year.
Oh, I forgot about that. I was just stalling to try and make the show not end, where I just kept talking.
Yeah. Look, J Mike. Oh, you're on to something, Gabe. I don't know why that turned Irish for a moment. All right. You're on to
You can, duh.
Man, I'm so in it. Such a good podcast host. Anyway, it is that time. It is the open bar. It is Tuesday. It is 9:30 Eastern. Heavy on that ish. We considered just holding the open bar amongst ourselves tonight. I didn't even care. I was like, people won't even know we'll be back. They're gonna thirst for us. They're going to, beg, plead, like, oh, Gabe, please press broadcast, please. I could feel it. I could feel the energy, and I said, okay, that's enough. It's the open bar. It's
time to press play.
It's been a minute. Hey, now that's a bar. We should put that in an intro. So I don't know if y'all knew we were live that whole time about the talks about smashing butts and whatnot. There were a lot of things I wanted to visit throughout that, but I mostly wanted to know, is that an actual Canadian phrase for just chain smoking, is just smashing butts? Because I love that, if that's a thing.
Yeah, man. That's smashing butts. Smokes are butts. So
Yeah. All right. What's because I've been.
How would you say that in the homeland, Peter?
Yeah,
he's not listening.
No.
He's got us on mute already. It's a world record.
I got me on mute. I mean, get it right if you're gonna throw that shit. No, I was responding to Casey in the chat, the guys you're all ignoring. He was talking about Lamar Jackson, and he just got a rushing touchdown, so I was celebrating with him. But by all means, you go on and talk about yourselves some more. We're just
I was asking how you would say smashing butts in the homeland, Peter.
Saturday night. I don't know what we're talking about.
I just hate how they hate J.K. Dobbins. You might not be here. You might be watching a Tuesday night football game. But if you're not, good job. Good idea. Who likes Andy Dalton? Who likes Lamar Jackson? He was obviously a dud. Have you watched anything this year? Okay. So last year he did his thing, whatever. This year he ain't nothing. Right, J Mike? What's up, man? Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the open bar. I've been podding every gosh darn Tuesday for 3 weeks, and I say, hey, here's the link, man. And just nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just a straight ghost for 3 weeks. I don't know how y'all do on the GOAT district there, JD and Dan. I don't know if y'all like communicate. I know you had a weird like first name basis relationship there for a while. So I mean, J Mike and I know each other's names, I think. But just to not speak to each other for 3 weeks, it was therapeutic. But I missed you, and so what's up? That's a lie, everyone.
No, it's not.
I love how you just undercut everything
I
that you just went on about for 90 seconds.
I couldn't even do it. I just missed you way too much. I couldn't even be a jerk. I couldn't even follow through with being a jerk. I got Russ rubbed off on me. Pause. And I said pause. And that's it. I just missed you. What's up, man? How are you?
Bro, I'm just grateful that we are back together, back in the saddle again, back at the bar, back at the place that brought us together. Obviously, we've talked many times. For those who are wondering, we haven't been like silent toward each other for 3 weeks. We talk a lot offline, obviously, but I'm glad that we're podcasting again. I'm glad that we've been able to level some things out in life, and I'm glad that we can get to a place where we're back. In a place that is very therapeutic for all of us. So the bar's back. Thank you all for rocking with everyone in the chat before we even get any further. Casey, AB, Bob Gilchrist, welcome back. Good to see you all. Thanks for showing some love. Also, Dingus is in the building too. What's up, Dingus? But obviously we've got a dope group tonight, and I'm just excited to jump into it. And I don't even know what it is, to be honest. I don't know what the it is that we're jumping into, but we're here and we're back at it. So let's get to it.
Yeah, I mean, when you just podcast week in, week out for 52 weeks out of the year, and you come up with 2-hour plus show sheets every week for 4 different guests, it's exhausting. So we really had to take all of November to write up a perfectly exquisite show sheet for tonight. Guys, you're gonna love this show tonight. I tell you what. Could
I get that email?
Did you misspell my name?
Oh, see, I tried to get into the Google Doc and it said it was restricted, so I just I missed out on it.
Yeah, I sent it to your Venmo. Is that where you receive?
Oh, I'll go up. Let me go upstairs and ask my wife what what's on the show sheet, so I can be better prepared for the show that's happening right now.
All right.
Which one of you is in Russ? Which one of you's last name is in Russ?
Russ.
Speaking of, let's just start off the show with the guests for a change. Usually we introduce our guests at the end, but why not, switch things up? It's the open bar. Let's have some
fun.
Back
to our roots. I like it.
Yeah, back to the old roots. So, Russ, Rich, or what have you, still one of my favorite mistakes on this podcast, but, my brother, Dio, the Outhouse, how are you doing tonight? Good to have you back on the pod. Can't wait for your soliloquy later on to outdo your previous soliloquy. What's good, brother?
I don't know if I could ever outdo that last one, but it is just so gosh darn good to be here. I think I asked you, the 3-4 weeks ago at your last show, I'm like, put me on the open bar. It's been too long. Sorry, bro. We're not doing a show for like the next 2 weeks. Oh, what the hell? Like, is this just because I asked? Is that what this is? All right. I see you two. But I'm good. I love being here. I love you guys.
I did say that December is yours. So that it's in the DMs. Okay. Which means it's a contract, right? DMs are contracts, right?
I think that's how it works.
Yeah. So I believe you are at the very least a guest, potentially a host or co-host, some sort of equivalent there. So you might be smashing butts all month, bud.
Yeah. All day, every day. That's the way I live. Smashing butts all day, every day.
Yeah. Speaking of smashing butts, check this segue out, huh? All right, Pete. You're up next, huh? P.A. How?
Fire, just fire.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back, man. I missed you, man. I missed you. Good to have.
We're just starting with lies. All right. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Look, I'll be honest. I didn't miss you, but
there you go. I feel more comfortable now. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, what's up? What do you need?
No, I think it's how.
Oh, how?
Oh, well, Gabe has an algorithm he needs you to look at. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
You're just gonna sit there doing that while the rest of us talk.
Oh, cool.
What was that name? Wolf. What was it? Alpha Wolf.
I don't know, man. It's normally got something to do with quantum mechanics.
Quantum wolf, yeah.
Some kind
we
of.
shouldn't be talking wolves around the boats like that, though.
No.
Trying to make nerding sound cool, some kind of handle that says that. No, great to be back. I'm glad I'm unbanned again. Every time I come on, I seem to get banned for at least 6 months. So it's nice to be back. I appreciate it. I would like to also share in my giving congratulations to J Mike, as people in the chat are saying. It's nice that you re-upped on the size of your house. I assume that's what's going on, since your tree is smaller this year. I assume you just got a bigger house with the exact same floor plan and just build it around the original tree. I appreciate it.
Further back, yeah.
Looking good. Yeah, I like it.
Listen, man, this is the same little tree that we put up for the last handful of years. It's not a Honey, I Shrunk the Kid situation. It is that's the tree. All 4 feet of it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's just this year the girls actually helped Kelly with taking care of the lights and ornaments. So it's a beautiful thing, and I didn't have to be a part of it. It was great.
Well, that's the good thing about it actually being 4 feet, where the kids can actually reach different parts of the tree. Because all those pictures online where you have those big trees and just like the bottom 2 feet are decorated because the kids want to help. That's absolutely what my tree is for the first 20 minutes every single year.
100%.
Like, oh, that's great, kids. Thanks. So go watch TV.
Actually, since we're doing tree tips, we actually found something out this year, because we've got a couple cats that they refuse to let me get rid of because I hate cats. But we have cats, and every year they try and climb the tree because cats are stupid.
Yes.
And they think it's a real tree. But this year, my kids and wife went out and collected I don't know what you call them, like wicker branches or whatever, like long spindly branches, so natural decorations, and they wrapped them in and around the tree to make a pretty neat decorating look, I thought. But the cats hate it. They won't go near the tree. It's pretty awesome. So if you got cats, try that, I guess. There you go.
That sound was the sound of my wife stat correcting me from the other room. The tree is 5 feet.
I told you, it's the room that got bigger. It's the room that got bigger, exposed. His wife just exposed him.
Usually it's the guys who exaggerate, not the girls, but I mean, whatever.
The girls are good at correcting, though. That's definitely something they're good at.
No question. I am often stat corrected around these parts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
No one's safe.
2 against 1 in my house, so I'm often.
Speaking of 2 against 1.
Hey,
I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna work. At least the 2 part. We got the GOAT District in the building tonight. Man, I can't count how many months it's been since we usually count in months as far as how long people have been absent from the podcast. You know, Russ probably 2 months, you know, Pete probably a month, less than a month. I don't want to reach to my, you know, my third hand for this one, fellas. Pause. But we're sorry. We're sorry. We, from the bottom of our hearts, we hope that you can forgive us for not getting you on sooner. I hope that we can smash some butts later, and
That's not
make,
going away anytime soon.
just make up for this.
It's about time we stole something back from Canada, though. It may as well be this one. Like they're all taking off stuff.
I'm a little sick of the tight
Movies,
end
references.
jokes. I'm a little sick of the tight end jokes. So we're gonna now shift into smashing
Nice.
butts.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah. Smash tight end, smash, but we'll get there. Anyway, the GOAT District is here tonight. We'll start with JD. What's good, fella? How you doing?
Good, man. Appreciate you having us on, and I'm a little disappointed. I thought we were live earlier. I had the whole costume out, you know, as a Russ threw a little challenge at me earlier today. I thought I was like gonna shock the show, but instead it's my either really bad lingo or, you know, smashing butts. That's just what we do, man. But appreciate you guys having us on, Dan and I and his hair. So it's like 2.5, I guess you can count us as. We're always excited to come on the open bar, and we appreciate you guys having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm coming for Gabe with the hair though. Not necessarily the beard, but the hair for sure.
I was gonna say, Dan, that hair, man.
Dan, you should have man bunned it.
I definitely feel threatened.
You got an elastic there or something?
No, unfortunately, but no, it's not quite man bunnable. It's like short ponyable is about it so far.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get there.
The abominable.
Abominable.
Dan is the abominable.
Abominable.
Mm. Come on, James. I've been just writing these down all month, man. Waiting.
And then he's wondering why he gets requests, right? For the He's spitting left and right.
I'm watching UFC tape right now, actually, guys. So yeah. Man, I don't know, J Mike. Look, you're already writing things down, you fool. I see him. He's gonna.
Are you writing on that?
Mr. Gearing, if you nasty, and then he's gonna say the abominable snowman or some FF abominable. I don't know what he's gonna say, but we'll get there later.
You just want to skip to the end? Is that
I
what you're doing right now?
guess. I mean, you're
Unbelievable.
so sneaky. All right. Anyway, what are we talking about, man? What's happening? Who are the RB1s? Saquon probably, still, Calf, Zeke, all the same guys, right? Same old. That's really why we took the month off, because it's just business as usual. All right. Ain't nothing changed but the name on the mail. What's good, fellas?
How about that D-Mont? Hey, Dan?
Oh yeah, Demont.
What? Okay.
I
So was that?
know somebody might have called something about that, but I'm not sure who. I mean,
I don't know who, but
Yeah.
just saying.
Probably
Wow,
the
you-
same
you-
person that called who was the hot take this Devontae Booker.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was Booker and Monty this week.
I'd
Well,
watch
one
that
of them
show.
worked. Not the
Yeah.
one I owned.
Yeah. I'm taking it. So Monty is the RB1, we're saying. And okay, so we'll start right off with it, J Mike. David Montgomery or Saquon Barkley. Come on.
Who cares? They're
talk-
running
talk
backs.
about
Why
it.
are you talking
Talk
about
about
running
it.
backs in 2020? No one cares anymore. They're dead. They're dead. Never coming back. Never gonna happen. Why are you talking about running backs in the year of the wide receiver?
I mean, everybody wants to ban kickers, but why don't we just ban running backs? It would
Right?
just make the whole
I mean,
game
what good
lighter.
are they? What use is a running back, really?
If you
Yeah.
guys saw Dan's top 12 that he launched or released a couple days ago, I mean, it's what, Dan, 85 to 92% receiver?
Yeah, pretty much.
No. So you gotta think next year going into this offseason, those early best balls, and you're gonna see receivers going early, and those backs get pushed a bit. I don't know.
Well, I mean, everybody pays attention to my top 10 or top 12, right? So, you know,
That's a
Why
place to
not,
go.
yeah.
But and I do want to ask though, because I think we could go a lot of different ways with this, but this is the first place that I'd like to go. And then we're going to come back. I think we have an early draft candidate as well, Gabe. I don't want to let this get too far in the chat because I thought it was fantastic. Way to go, Casey. Shout out to you already. But when it comes to, obviously we're at the end of the year, week 13, we're putting a bow on it as we speak. This is 10:20 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday night, December the 8th, and playoffs are kicking off. We've got our eyes on the prize in dynasty leagues. If you're in FFPC, which I know Go District is all about, if you're in those kind of leagues, whether it be football guys or the main events, all these things are popping off for all of us, right? It's an exciting time, even over when we're looking at the Open Bar Best Ball Charity League. We're even coming down to the wire there as well. I'm curious, when it comes to this upcoming 9-point scoring season that we are rapidly approaching, I feel like there's a lot of folks who have already been in this mindset, like, all right, man, 2020 has zapped me. What is going on behind me?
Nothing.
It's a tree,
light-
Mike. It's a tree. It's fine. It's fine.
I feel like things
If
went
that
dark.
tree like lights on fire right now, I'm gonna just like.
Yo, I'm a
Well,
little
see, it's-
spooked right now. I'm not
Your
gonna.
tree's really 4 feet, so your wife is like sneaking behind and putting some books underneath it.
I am not wrong.
I really felt like some
Never
lights were
wrong.
flickering behind me. Like for real, nothing changed. Okay.
Nothing changed.
Wow. All right.
I mean, there was a small baby that walked behind you. I don't know. I don't know.
Accurate.
You got some white kids that dressed all in white and sort of see through. But
Oh man, let me say it. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Come on now. What's your all's 9-point scoring season plan? I need to know because we're coming up on, we're exhausted. It's been a long season. We're tired. Things have been hot and heavy for a long time. Normally, this is a time when some of us will try to run away as far as we can from our rosters, run away from all sorts of nonsense and anything else that we can do for at least a little bit. But obviously, it's Dynasty, so it never ends for a lot of us. But what is your all's plans? What do you plan on doing? Are you back into grinding this rookie tape, which I am? Are you going to be diving into, hey, where did I make my mistakes with these best ball rosters that basically sunk my money? Like, what are you all doing at this point? I'm very curious because I feel like this plan for a lot of folks will be very different than other years in the past.
Draft fucking best balls. What's your plan?
Draft best balls and somehow pawn off like half of my dynasty leagues because I'm in way too many leagues.
I think we're all there, right?
It's like
I have a small list.
literally, I
went
think
through
almost
that,
every week I missed one lineup that I either went into, set it all up, either didn't click submit or started looking at trades, or I need to either hire someone to do my starting lineups or just literally get rid of half my leagues and do best balls.
I went through that last offseason. I cut it down to 5 active dynasty leagues plus any redraft that I pick up, and it's better. I got to tell you, it's better. Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, I think I hit 28 total leagues this year. I'm going to try and get it lower, except I'm the a-hole who's dreamed up a ridiculously complicated league that I'm going to start running. So I'm going to, drop 4 leagues, but then run a 48-team league anyway. So that's kind of the same thing. But when my wife asks how many leagues I'm in, I could say 3 less. Like that's, I mean, that's the only
probably
positive
sounds
I really
better.
got out of it.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not doing anything differently, right? Like, I mean, I think if anything, like you're going to find people that are just going to be like, oh, all right, give me like 20 minutes, man. Football, it's over. That was, God, I don't know what the hell that was. Let me just close the laptop, smash some butts, and take a rest. But I don't know, man. Like if I'm not doing fantasy football, that means I have to work or like pay attention to my wife and kids. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, what's
Like,
with this, pretending to be so exhausted and hard and worn out by the free hobby that you choose to spend lots of time doing? Like, I'm sorry,
there's nothing free.
it's been a
about what
really
we do.
hard grind for you all. I know your boss has been making you submit waiver claims and forcing you to have fun with your friends. I just can't wait to have a break. Come on. What is this pretend? Oh, it's so exhausting. All right, come on. We're all gonna keep mindlessly spending way too much time on this dumb little hobby of ours. That's the off-season plan. Probably sign up for 5 more leagues while talking about getting rid of 10.
Yep.
And that's the plan.
Yep.
And also to
Abe,
trade
I
for
got
Corey
rid of
Davis
3, but
at
I
whatever
added
cost.
5.
Slipping that one in there for your viewers.
J Mike, do you mind if I kind of like pull the podcast back a bit? Because I got a question before we get into the off season.
Uh-oh.
I got a question for you guys. Like, this is something I struggle with every year, and I feel like every year I go in and I'll make the same 1 or 2 mistakes. Setting your lineups going into these crucial weeks right now. You playing matchups, you putting in your studs, are you putting in that stud that hasn't been performing lately? Do you guys have any magic formula? Because Logan Thomas on my bench during his career week, put in Rudolph like an amateur,
I'm with you.
sat Rodgers for Carr last week, and then this week, gotta put Herbert in instead of Carr. And it's like Dan and I say it on our show all the time, and Dan can speak for himself, but the weakest part of my game by far, starting lineup. I'll build you a roster, no problem, trades. But when it comes to setting my lineup, I will screw myself every year. So I'm like, every year I think, I know the formula now, no problem. I made my mistakes, I know it. And then you go into the next year and you think you got to figure it out. I don't know. Anybody got a solution for me?
There is no figuring it out. So just accept that, right? Like,
there is a solution though. I mean, if your roster is deep enough so that there's no wrong answers, then
or shallow enough that you have no choice.
Yeah.
Which is actually what you should be aiming at.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened in redraft this year.
And that's why I like the FFPC, because you can build rosters that way. Because it's a shallower league, you can go super top heavy. And as long as you have your studs, you just put them in every week. But in those deep dynasties like Trade Addicts 5, you saw my team, Russ, depending on Wilson and DK, first half I'm golden. And then, you got to fill in the spots. And then it's like sometimes you think you're filling in a hole, but you're really giving yourself another gap. That
you just traded me DK in the beginning of the season, like I told you to, your problems would have been solved. That's all I'm saying.
But JD, that's fantastic, because that's the thing that I feel like at the end of the year, so many people are memeing each other when it comes to the start your studs versus the people who are like, no, play the best matchup. And then they'll meme each other when, Tim Hightower's your league winner, or when, or when, or on the other side, when Russell Wilson wins you your championship or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't know that there is a quote unquote right answer, but one thing that I've done a lot of this year, and this is something that my man Zach Reed, Tacit Assassin 13 on Twitter, has said a lot, like over the years, has always been, hey, listen to DFS guys from a start perspective, right? So, and I don't, and it's not even it's not even a matter of like, hey, definitely play these guys in DFS, but it's just a matter of listening to people talk through like the pricing. And I know that this is something that you all obviously have dabbled in and do information with as well, but like, that's been something that for me has just taken my mind to a different place. Not so much, I don't even know that's necessarily like a better place, but it's taken a lot of the stress off of my plate in terms of like, okay, like just what makes sense. Like, I'm not going, like, if I've got Antonio Gibson versus the Steelers, like, I'm not going to expect Antonio Gibson to run for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns on that week, right? So if I know that I need it, or I know I'm looking at a struggle bus of a week or whatever, like, I'm just not going to trip. Like, I'm just going to do whatever I think is the best for my roster and letting it be. And I don't know that it necessarily helps you, but like, that's just taking the stress off of my plate and worrying about like, man, I'm gonna fool around and I'm gonna make the wrong decision regardless. So if I just choose whatever I feel best about and call it a day, like I'm good.
Which is the answer, actually. To be honest, that's what I mean. It's whatever answer makes you feel the most swag. Like, I'm just going to roll out Tim Patrick this week. If that's what makes you feel happy, then that's what you do.
Booker.
I think, yeah, right. I think well, yeah, that's what I was going to say about DFS as well. I used to be a big fan of listening to DFS content for exactly that reason. But the advice needs more context these days. What DFS? Because if you're listening to most DFS podcasts, there are so many DFS podcasts, and their aim now seems to be 90% measuring the size of their own penises against each other and challenging each other to boxing matches, apparently. So, go pretend to do that. And the other part is
listening to.
You've been on DFS Twitter, man.
I have not.
It's horrid.
It is.
Yes, I'm
It's a
glad I
horrid
haven't.
place to exist. So yeah, DFS content's somewhat gone down the tubes, but there are still good podcasts out there. But you got to remember whether you listen to cash advice, as they call it, or GPP, and most of it is a blend. And it's really cash advice that you're looking for in a redraft or any kind of league that we're mostly playing in. Because GPPs, they're asking a different question. They're not asking which is the best start sit. They're asking which is the one that's going to help me beat 2 million people, whereas you're just trying to beat one.
How am I going to differentiate my roster?
Yeah.
It's like a best ball, right? Like a best
There's
ball.
still
If
that
you're a
element in
huge underdog.
GPP though.
And
Yeah,
that's
if
what I
you're
was
a
going to
huge
say about
underdog.
start sits. I mean, I know it's frustrating when you don't start Tim Patrick or Antonio Gibson and he goes off, but at the end of the day, like J Mike said, you're going to have to accept that happens. That's football. The best choice is probably the one you put in, and that's okay. Sometimes you lose to that, but you're going to win more often than you lose. So, I like the DFS advice thing, but thinking of it that way makes it too. I think too many people build in the variance. Well, I've got to capture that 20-point week no one else saw. Well, no, most of the time you're not going to capture that. And you should really go for what's most likely and what's going to happen most of the time, even when it sucks to score 5 points instead of 30 because your stud didn't go off. But it saves you from starting Devontae Booker in the first week of the playoffs, for example. Because that was just stupid.
Yeah. Well,
Great
that's why-
DFS play, sure.
That's why you're happy you made the mistakes during these last couple of weeks versus the next couple of weeks. So that's why I brought this up, because for me it's like a reminder, because what you're saying, PA and J Mike, you touched on, it's like in poker, right? You got to trust the process, and you can't necessarily always go with the results. But it's still hard to not get caught up into it,
Because that's sickening, right? We do all this work. We put our rosters and our teams in these positions
So frustrating.
to be successful, right? And then all of a sudden, you've got this team where you've got the 2 seed, you got a first round bye, and some whack 6 seed has gotten through, and you're about to take them on. You're about to wipe the floor with them, and then it just all falls apart in the semifinals. And you're like, what
In the
happened?
blink of
This
an
is-
eye.
It's the beauty of head to head.
15 weeks of sadness up in smoke, and it's over. And it's like, it's
do
a hard
think-
bullet to bite, but you're like, yeah.
I
yeah,
do
I
think
get it.
there's an element. We can maybe make it easier, but it's a dynasty move I don't think we're all quite on board with, frankly. But it's the more I play, the more I think we should be all in on winning this season. If you're in the playoffs, you've got a good team, screw your depth. I mean, if you can start DK
Agreed.
Metcalf or Tyler Lockett in the finals, but you're in a dynasty team, so you don't want to trade one away because DK's going to be a stud for 4 years, screw it. Trade DK and get the running back one that you think's the running back one for the next 3 weeks.
David Montgomery for DK straight up.
Right?
Yeah.
No, because you don't think he's going to be a stud this week, right? I'm talking about trading for
No, but
James Robinson. No one's going to complain that he's going to be a stud through this playoffs. No one wants to do that trade. But the chances of getting I'm probably in a great position to win is rarer than we say or like to think in Dynasty, So if you're really in a good position to win, you can lean that way. You can vacate some of your great depth in Dynasty to go all in on that season and still stay pretty young if you can help it, like a James Robinson, who, yes, I recognize the problems with his draft capital, but if it keeps some of your long-term value and you think definitely improves your this season run, we should probably be more willing to do that. 1 in 12 chance. It's not DFS level, but it's still not great if you're playing with good people to get in a great chance to win a year. So that might be one way of softening some of those start-sit decisions come playoffs. If you've got a good team, you're looking like you're going there early in the year, you start doing that more and more. You don't have an option because the option 2 is Kendrick Bourne, because you've traded away some of that debt. That's perhaps an option if you want to go the other way. But I think most of us in Dynasty are like, nah, I'm just gonna keep it because we care about the sexy roster.
That's right. I prefer my rosters to look good on paper, actually.
All right, me too.
I'm
care to win.
I'm still working on a way of like building points off of pretty rosters. So I'm gonna do it because I feel like that's really what I've been building towards with Trade Addicts leagues, right? Like you trade so much just to, like dynasty value equals championships. I think I need to find a way to do that.
What if you score Dynasty Trade Calculator value every week?
Yes, that's the plan.
Antonio Gibson last week shoots up.
Don't forget who's sitting right next to us. This is a DLF family of podcast show, so you better trade analyzer it right now.
That one too. We could do more.
You have a point that it's often forgotten. Like the whole point we do that, like the only reason we do this, like why do you build your roster? Why do you make a trade? It's to win a championship. We play to win the game.
Thank you. If you didn't hermit, I was going to do it.
Literally, like people just forget that. And yeah, I've blown rosters where I've really gone for it and made the wrong trade. But you know what? At least I know I made every effort to go after it when I had the opportunity. And I think people miss on that and they think too much, the dynasty and the long term. And you got to think about what's the goal? What's the reason? Why am I doing this? It's to win championships.
I also think Zach's right here. And we talk about it all the time, but we're a tiny little corner of a tiny little corner. And so it's probably not talked about mainstream as much as we should. But I forgot my point. Forget it. Carry on.
Okay, no, but like I'll pick it up.
Smashing too many butts.
That's what it is.
I'll pick it up because like in order to win, like let's face it, you don't always win because you have the best team. Like we used the phrase like lightning in the bottle before, and it's like you win because you happen to have Lamar the year he breaks fantasy football. Man, my first dynasty championship was 2017-ish, where I had Mike Evans, David Johnson, like Doug Baldwin, these guys that weren't supposed to be like top 2-3 at their positions. They just happened all at once. And my team was trash the next year. Like, remember, David Johnson the next year, trash. Mike Evans went on to catch 3 touchdowns. And Doug Baldwin spent the whole season being hurt. Like, it's good to build a core of a team. Like that's really what you're doing. You're putting yourself in a position to, when you get lucky and grab 1 or 2, when you get, I'm going to keep saying James Robinson because I know Pod just wants that over and over again to be spoken into existence till it actually raises his value.
No, actually, I wasn't, but yeah, go around.
Because every single week when I tweet out, hey, what questions do you have for Trade Addicts Pod? So James Robinson's value? And
maybe I remember my point. If I could just cut in before someone else makes the starter one, I think there's a slightly, maybe too big brain. Not that I have a big brain, but thinking too broadly. But I think it helps leagues if you're willing to admit how rarely you can win in a good league with good players like yourself, because it helps the league flow. How many of us have been stuck in a league where there's a lack of movement? It's tough to get anything done. Maybe not in a league with Outhouse, because he'll literally just trade the league. He's the engine that makes the league keep moving players, and he always gets trades, and he's awesome, whatever. He's my boss now, so I gotta say stuff like that. But I wrote that down. Been in so many leagues where the league's just stagnant, and I have the opposite problem of Goat District over here. I'm normally at the bottom of the league pretty often, but I'm talking to teams that have playoff chances or at the top of the league. Those are the guys you want to trade with. I'm like, make a move, and they're like, no, I want to keep my dynasty value. I'm like, well, that means I can't do anything to improve my team. You're not increasing your chances of winning now. And it's going to be the same next year. It helps the league if you're willing to go all in on that season.
You're both gravitating
at the bottom can try and change their roster out, and you can push for the championship, which is, baby. Which is, the lowest odds thing that we're all trying to get to. I've been stuck in so many leagues where the trade responses are, no, that's terrible dynasty trade. Are you insane? I'm like, dude, you're going to start this guy next week. You're not going to start that rookie next week. And you're trying to win. And I'm done because I suck. So, make a move. Let me add picks or whatever else to get it done, to get the value close. It's the same thing with I think some of the best moves in Dynasty that are coming out are looking at dynasty like finance, where the market's getting so smart. Look at where we get things wrong and try and take an advantage in that, and trying to get things more right, get your rankings right, project more accurately. Instead, look where the best we can do with projections most often go wrong. And to Russ's point, if you look at who was the top 5 wide receivers last year, or the top 5 running backs just last year, this time last year, look at how much they're going to change by the time we get to it this offseason. You can lean into that variance. It's stupid to trade DK or Justin Jefferson right now, but it could help you in your league. And even though it shouldn't, like this is not a DK or a Justin Jefferson slam, it happens all the time. Players who shouldn't drop out the top 5 drop out the top 5. In fact, that's the commonality. That's what normally happens. Players that we ultimately think should never be valued under the top 5 end up there. So take advantage of that while you're pushing for a championship. I keep waiting for someone to jump in.
No,
I
think you're exactly right
for
on.
the
something, but instead you'll just keep like. Can I
I'll
shut
jump
up?
We
in.
love letting you
I feel
talk just to see how long you'll go until you hit this point.
Man, I've told you when you're trying to
How?
hit that record of the longest podcast, I was like, come on, man. I just keep talking. You should have just brought me on.
No,
I
like,
don't
what
know
you
how
gonna
to
do?
stop unless someone interrupts me, like right now.
All right, so I'm trying to interrupt you, but he's goddamn talking.
Speaking of,
See?
I'll
See?
talk about James Robinson a little bit because
I managed to get J Mike to quit. So I'm
Yeah,
actually
right.
happy
he's fixing the tree situation. He's
with that. He's jacking it up.
he's shrinking his house. So this I think I hate to default to this, JD. I'm providing you an excuse here that you can tell your wife, kids, whomever, like, look, it was just a weird year. All right, I'll be back next year. It's fine. So I made a wrong decision here and there. All right, whatever. But don't we kind of think that was a bit of what it was? Just a very weird year. I mean, we're talking about James Robinson as the top guy here, like Antonio Gibson. Like, I know we all loved him, but I don't think we expected like this necessarily. I think we wanted all like 5, maybe 6, maybe 7 other running backs ahead of him to just finish ahead of him this year. Like, we weren't even sure what Antonio Gibson was. I read what was the tweet? Something in terms of like there was only one running back to be able to score inside the top 24 every single week this year. I don't even know who it was, but just that stat in itself is like nuts.
It's probably James Robinson.
It was probably James Robinson is I think was a lot of the guesses, but I mean, that's just crazy. Like that is so much variance, and not to like leave that as an excuse, JD, but it kind of is a legitimate one. Like it's just insane.
Well, I think when you talk about variance, I mean, every year is crazy in its own way. Any year you go back to, if you look at, who was the highest by ADP and then who finished the year the highest. I mean, there's just always, there's somebody crazy coming out of the woodwork like Robinson. There's, guys that hit a lot faster than we thought they were going to, like Gibson. These things just happen. And, one of Pete's points earlier was if you've got one of those top 5 people on your team, now is the time to trade him. I mean, even if you're going for a championship, you can probably trade him off and get several good pieces or some other good ascendant piece plus something else. And basically when you're up in that top 5, your player's value has nowhere to go but down. And so you need to be taking advantage of that, trade them off, and continue to try to accrue value that way. And you can do that and still win championships.
I was trying to think of a way of putting that rent into some sort of point. And here's what it is. I think this too, but when everyone in your league thinks this way about value, it's up to the player trying to get the highest dynasty value asset to make up the difference. But if you're pushing for a championship and I'm just pushing for a good long-term player, you're the one who's got more on the line. Everyone thinks it's up to the guy trying to trade for, random player who's not exponentially valuable right now, Jalen Reagor. It's up to you to make up that youth value, right? But if you're pushing for a championship, it's up to you to make up that value because you need whatever player you're trading for to win a championship. That's where the emphasis should be. And I think we always get stuck on long-term value. So you have to make up the difference. No, you're going for a championship. You're the one who desperately needs this. I'm just trying to get something out of a down season. If you see what I mean? If you reverse that a little bit, that makes more sense.
You almost go into you almost have to go into a redraft mode when you're contending.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah, but
Good
a little
balance.
bit. I think a little bit more than people even think. I think that's the problem. I think a lot of people have the opportunity and they're worried about making that last final move that'll kind of take them. Yeah, okay, I'm getting rid of my first, or my second, which I've been holding on. But that's why you hold on to those chips. You can get that first back in the offseason. If you're in the right league, you can go back and get that first back or that second or whatever you trade. If if you're active and you're doing shit the right way, you should be able to get whatever it is you trade away back. You have how many months before the start of the season? So just worry about this year, man. Play it like redraft. I'm not saying give the farm away, that kind of. You still play smart.
I was going to say that to your point right there, you've got to be right. If you screw it up and trade some valuable dynasty asset for David Montgomery because he had a good last week, I mean, that's not the right move. But if you get it right, then it works. And that's the thing. You're taking the risk because you're pushing for something that's more valuable, a win, which is what you want, which is what we all want. So sorry to jump back in there.
But no, just I do want to touch because Dan brought up a really good point, and this is something we've talked about on our show like for many weeks now, is when do you move those guys that have hit? You grab the guys that you thought would become top 5 at their position, top 3. When do you move them? For me, Dan, just when you're asking the question, if I have a guy in my roster where if he goes down, let's say before I go into next week, and my starting lineup is gravely injured, like to the point where I'm not competing anymore, then I need to make a move before I get into the playoffs so I can balance out my roster a bit, my starting lineup. That's the way I see it. Like, if Michael Thomas goes down and your team it just has no chance after that, then move Michael Thomas, get yourself a pivot piece, add some, maybe a low pick and maybe a wide receiver 3 or an RB3 or RB2 on that. And build some depth on your roster. And, you can still get the points that player was producing from now till the end of the year, but not be so dependent on one player and add a bit of depth because again, like you guys say, yeah, this is a tough year, but if you built your rosters right, you had the depth to get through this season and all the craziness that we've been dealing with.
To put a lower value example of this, because I was talking about this, well, we were playing a game, so it wasn't like we were actively having a chat, so John will probably be angry I mentioned it, but I was talking about this kind of with John Bosch a few weeks ago, because one of my teams is dead, like I'm giving up, and I had Mike Davis. Now, Christian McCaffrey's coming back, he's already bad. He's a dying fantasy value asset, especially in redraft, I get it. But the guy I was trying to trade to had a bye week coming up, had no running back 2, and Mike Davis was the guy for that week. And I was talking to John about how difficult it was to get a trade done for someone, not DK Metcalf, but like someone like Darnell Mooney. Like that level, like it's an interesting prospect. He's not going to kill it this year, but I kind of like him, and so I want him. And I could not get a trade done because the value is on my side. He's like, no. And John was agreeing with the value, and John's a master of value. He's right. Mike Davis doesn't have any dynasty value. But that guy's pushing for the playoffs. I'm not. Like, he should be willing to give up a Darnell Mooney or whatever for a Mike Davis for that week, even that week. And there you're not talking about something that's going to affect your team long term, because I don't even think I think he's going to be, the stud of the year eventually. But instead, the emphasis from John and the guy I was trying to trade with, in this fictional example, obviously, was on me because I was the one getting the higher dynasty asset. I'm like, no, because you're the one, and that's an example of what I'm talking about. That's lower value than.
I will say this, I will say this. If you were a Mike Davis owner, I will say this, like just devil's advocate, you had to move him while he was up here.
Yeah, the emphasis on Mike, he only has value in this window. Yeah, you're right.
If you got stuck with your your dick in your hand. I can't remember if we can say that on here or not, but
whatever. We just did.
Like if you did not move them when, and that comes back, that could even parallel to these guys that we're talking about at the top of their game. If you move them at the top of their game, like James Robinson, funny enough for us, the only place I still have a James Robinson piece is in TA5. And again, like he's a guy got super late in rookie draft picks, had to ask a couple commissioners to add him to the list to even draft him in the 4th and 5th round. And I was able to move him and build that depth and stuff. And yeah, on some teams, wish I still had him for sure. But that's like you said, you got to be right. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But you got to talking about so that it keeps it. Sorry, Peter.
No, I'm the one interrupting. I'm an asshole. I know. I'm sorry.
Just keep smashing butts, bro.
I want to keep talking about this because I'm animated.
Sooner or later, I was gonna say sooner or later, Dan's gonna pop in because I see him opening his mouth like he's gonna say something.
I know. I'm sorry.
Sliced off at the leg.
I end up not needing to because you guys get where I'm going all the time. So it's like, that was it.
Dan's
okay,
just
got it. Yep.
He's from Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly. No, a couple more beers. I'll just be firing right in. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt him just because he's too nice to. No. I already started talking. So you don't get to interrupt it. No.
I will say this.
No, I was just going to say. More he came up again. That James Robinson.
Somebody.
After me. No, after
chance.
me. No, after me.
But really, I mean, you might think that, the person going for the championship should be the more desperate person. But in actual fact, the more desperate person is whoever the more desperate person is. That might be you. That might be somebody else. Your goal in trading is to make sure that you are not the most desperate person because that's how you get the value on your side. And the way that you aren't the most desperate person is just you got to have patience a little bit when it comes to Dynasty. And sometimes you have to say, you know what, even though this is the target I like the best, there are other secondary targets that I can go out there and I can try to go after instead and find somebody who's a little bit more eager to make that trade with me. And, sometimes you come around to value through the back door that way.
Yeah, but in a specific league, there are only so many candidates for this kind of trade. And I'm just saying there's an edge. If you're the one in the position of power, right, you're the one pushing for a championship, that's one of the edges. You can switch it around. And the guy with Mike Davis might be the more desperate person, but you can actually get an edge by being willing to be the more desperate person almost. Because it helped, hopefully, and I can't even remember what Mike Davis has done those last few weeks. It probably wasn't great, but if you got it right, and you improve your chances of getting a bye week or getting to the playoffs or being the most contending team, like by switching it up and saying this guy everyone everywhere, and it is correct, is the more desperate person. But by just stepping back and going, well, I can switch that just a little bit, just for a low value, interesting dynasty value, but not top tier player, I can maybe improve my chances this week, and he can gain a slight edge. But and this is really interesting. But I just wanted to, since James Robinson keeps coming up, independently of me, I did want to point out everyone's comparing him to the wrong players. Everyone's doing a lot of counting stats comparisons this time of year for wide receivers and running backs. The way he's making his points compared to the running backs that broke out later with lower draft capital that you wanted on your team. And that's the point I keep trying. I think I'm going to have to do a video or a study on it or something. But he compares more to someone like Arian Foster than he does to Philip Lindsay or any of the others people want to compare him to, so he's not worth anything next year. So I do think, winning or losing, James Robinson, there might be a little wiggle in his value. He might be worth adding. I don't know where his value is right now. I think it's around Cam Akers, which is still a little too high, maybe. But anyway, wanted to throw that out.
I'll just jump in just to piggyback on what Dan was talking about, because he's actually really good at that, kind of not spending a lot of that future value in order to get to where you need to get. And in the Super GOAT, one of the top two teams pretty much the whole season, but I really sucked at tight end. I had Jonnu, basically was my only tight end. And you see Don nodding, or Don, I called him Don all of a sudden, must be the Don Juan hair. But Dan's shaking his head nodding his head because in actually with Randy Dynasty Warzone, I sent him Will Fuller. I was trying to get like a top end tight end, but I was I had to affect my starting lineup to do it, and I ended up moving Fuller for Ebron and a third. Maybe it's an overpay, if Fuller's healthy, but he's not. And he's not helping me anytime soon. And, Ebron's pulling 12, 13, 14, 15 points a week, which right now in tight end, that's gold. So if I can replace, again, like Dan is saying, as opposed to sending something for a guy like Mark Andrews or someone who's going to cost me way more and probably give me at best the same points. So there are ways that you can kind of, not give away the farm, I guess you could say, and still compete effectively this year.
Yep, exactly. That's the whole goal. You have to kind of, and the nice thing is at this time of year, you're looking at a very short window. You're looking at basically 3 weeks, weeks 14, 15, 16. So you can afford to maybe, take somebody who's got a lower value where you have to give up less just because you have a very attractive schedule, or they happen to be working really well right now, because I'm a big believer in whatever is working, stick with it until it's not working. And there's no rhyme or reason to it sometimes, but if it's working, it's working. Tim Patrick is working right now.
Hey, there's a rhyme and reason. No. You can't just throw out.
Okay.
Yeah,
there is a rhyme or reason to it, but I mean, like nothing.
I'm trying to sit back and not interrupt, and you're just like, I'll just throw some undrafted free agent shade out there. Like I'm not going to be, like you're going to be able to not. Whatever. That was such bait, and I took it completely.
You want to know how I know that Gabe and J Mike are just super rusty when it comes to running the open bar? We've been talking about fantasy football for about 50 minutes.
Guys, I'll be honest. I'm high stressing a matchup, and I can't even focus my energy right now. And especially because J.K. Dobbins just scored that touchdown. I'm like 2 points away. I have Zeke and Schultz like just a catch for 10 yards or something, guys.
Earmuffs.
And then I'm in it. And if it doesn't happen, then we're shutting the pod down. So
I needed TD, and I mostly needed it to not be a Lamar Jackson TD.
Yeah, me too. I'm playing against Casey in a league right now, and I got him by 3.5 points, and he has Lamar and Brown. So, man, like one play, and I could just be super screwed right away.
It's really, really interesting.
Good old Tuesday night football.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it. Tomorrow's gonna be so goddamn stressful having to set up all of my freaking playoff.
Telling you, man, you hire someone. There's got to be someone you can hire to do it, right, Russ?
No, I'm the ass that gets hired to do it. I mean.
Oh, well, I'm not a baller like you are. Sorry.
And I say hire, where it's just like, hey, Russ, can you do this for me? Sure. Why not? I say yes to everything. What?
Checks.
Oh, God, no. Are you kidding? Like, man, I run that fucking Dynasty Diagnostic Listener League, and that's not my podcast. Like, that's one of the few podcasts that to this day that are not mine, and I run the freaking league. That's a freaking 48-team league. I don't know how the hell Eitan worked his magic on me, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, yeah, this is great. I'm totally going to do this. Why did I do this? This is terrible. But I still do it. I don't know, man. Like, so clearly, I'm not getting someone else to do it for me because I'm the idiot that gets duped into doing it.
And that's a relegation league too. That's even more wild. But yeah, Russ, that is weird. You are, because that also happened in the Olympians, in a league that you weren't even in.
I got brought into that league just because they could pawn it off on me.
He takes over an orphan, and then shortly thereafter, before he even plays, I think, a matchup as like a player in the actual league, he ends up taking over as commissioner because the original commissioner steps back. It was Russ is a fantastic commissioner, so I'm not mad at it. It's just a weird situation. It was weird. Anyhow, to everyone out there, at Dynasty Outhouse on Twitter, if for whatever reason you want to step away from your league, you don't want to commission anymore, Russ is running a substitute commissioner service in 2021.
I will start charging. I will start charging. Man, maybe I can quit my freaking day job then. I'll do it.
Oh shoot!
That's basically what Fish did to get into the industry of sorts, right? Just be a really good commissioner.
There you go.
Man, I'm telling you, that's
and start the largest, most complicated to organize fantasy football championship the world's ever seen. Yeah, but apart from that, yeah.
Yeah.
Neither here- that's
Let's
neither here nor there.
deconstruct that statement by Gabe for a second. Just be a good fantasy football commissioner. There is no just about that. That's an insanely
Just to put a
thankless
point on the
job.
chart,
Yeah.
if you're a commissioner,
do
you
it.
might end up with
Yeah.
someone like me in
Yeah,
the
just be
league.
great.
That's not easy. That's not easy.
Yeah, I got a question for you guys. Playoffs right now are coming up. So what's everyone's favorite format? Do you guys, we were talking about this in the GOAT chat. You guys like head to head? Do you like I like the way the FFPC does, where going into the first week of playoffs, the top 2 teams get a bye. The next 4 teams battle it out. Top 2 teams move on. And it's just whoever scores the most points. Like basically you're playing everyone that's in the playoffs that week. Then you move on. And again, the top 2. So it's based on total points as opposed to head-to-head matchups. You guys have a preference?
Yeah,
I
and
like I like some of that. I don't want that everywhere,
Right.
but I got So I like that idea. It's fun. It's different, but I want most of my leagues to still be, I guess, that traditional head-to-head. 1-2 seed get the bye, reseeding every round and stuff like that. But no, like I do want like a couple of leagues that are different because. I mean, what's the point of being in 28 leagues if they're all the same? Though, of course, at the end, I'm going to end up creating 28 Trade Addicts leagues, being all of them, and they're all the exact same goddamn league. But, like having a little bit of difference is fun, and something like that is fun. But I do love
I don't find it fun.
I love the head because, like, I try to, like, in leagues where you try to manufacture, not necessarily activity, but when you try to manufacture relationships isn't the right word either, but like talking, like in the original Trade Addicts leagues
Activity.
ideas, well, like personal activity, not necessarily like trading activity. Like, I was gonna interaction. There you go. There's a word. I tried to do rivals and stuff like that, and like I tried, like we had the chats going where chats are awesome during a startup, right? Everyone's giving everyone shit. Everyone's, shitting on everyone's draft choices. Everyone's, saying, yo, you got wrecked in that trade. So I'm like, let's do this. Who's giving you the worst? Like, come on, let's pick some rivals. And like 2 people did, and then everyone else just sort of disappeared. And I'm like, all right, well, this isn't happening. That's fine. But like in the playoffs, that happens.
It all sounds good in theory till you come down to, oh, wait, I have to do that? Oh, God. I have like things to do and a life.
Getting 12 people to do anything.
As far as I know, I'm the only
impossible.
one of us in our small corner of this small little thing that's like, nah, I just like vanilla stuff. Like, I'm in a John Bosch league, and I found I am actually the answer to the kryptonite that is John Bosch, by the way, because I'm his kryptonite. There's not a single move I make or question I ask that doesn't give John a headache, because I don't understand any of it. He's like, make sure you all pick your rivals. I'm like, who are they again? Every time, because I can never remember. I like vanilla leagues. I like to know exactly what's going on by looking at it. I don't want to have to go and look up the league's rules again and read the bye rules and ask John again.
Yeah,
I
should not have tried
What's
Bosch
going
League.
on, John? I don't understand. Because then he tries to kill me, and it's very difficult to escape that. He looks like he wouldn't be fast, but he's fast. You wouldn't believe. So yeah, I like vanilla. I like to know exactly what's going on and the type of thing that I might want to do to improve my chances or value just by looking instead of having to read an Excel spreadsheet and know I just said that. Of all the rules, like I like vanilla, PPR. There's some great ways of doing playoffs. That might be where I'm in on doing it differently, like you were just mentioning about the FFPC, right? But obviously, my answer is Trade Addicts leagues because I'm in one of those, and my boss is sitting right there. So.
JD,
Podcast overlord.
JD, my favorite one. Speaking of Bosch, I'm in several Bosch leagues. Bosch has his infamous or famous, I guess, whichever one you like to
Both,
see it
man.
as.
Both.
The playoff call outs. It's the playoff call outs.
Oh my God, no! I would never.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite thing in league.
Please explain.
Playoff times. What happens is, obviously, if 6 teams make the playoffs, whether it's 12-team, 14-team league, let's say 6 teams make the playoffs, and let's just say, for example's sake, that the 1 and the 2 seed get a bye. Then it's incumbent upon the 3 seed to choose who they want to face, the 4, the 5, or the 6. And it's the best.
No,
It's
Oh my God.
because the stress that it puts on the 3 seed and the crap that they're going to catch in the event that they lose to whoever they
When they
choose.
lose,
the wrong
don't
one.
say in the event.
It's-
When you
it's
choose who
immaculate.
you're going to play, you are going to lose.
And I'm pretty sure, and I think it doesn't stop in that first round. It also goes to the second round where the 1 seed gets to choose now who they're going to play between.
The top seed basically picks their opponent.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the best because he puts it on Twitter. He puts it in a big long thread, and all these leagues, you just see people getting called out, and then you just get to track it throughout the rest of the playoffs. People giving each other so much crap. It's a lot of fun to watch. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite thing about playoffs.
Oh man, if I was in that kind of league and someone picked me and got, heaven forbid there's no trade deadline, I will sell every ounce of my future. I don't care about winning the championship,
Right?
just to win that game.
Yeah.
If someone calls me out and like, fuck it, DK, take DK Metcalf, just give me Adam Thielen straight up. Let's do it. I don't care. Like, you know, like,
So true.
and I would lose horribly, you know. No, like that is so much pressure. I can't handle it. I don't know. I'd quit the league in the middle of the playoffs. Like because I know, because Bosch knows me so well.
You're like Des Bryant pregame.
You know, who was it Vontae Davis who quit at halftime? He was just like,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm out.
Yeah, just call me Des Bryant. Yeah, I don't know what this shit is. I'm out. I quit. No, like
You wouldn't believe the number of times I hear Dynasty Outhouse compared to Des Bryant. I mean, it's very on brand.
Yeah.
Very on point. I mean, identical.
slow guy that can't create separation. I guess. That was kind of it.
well done.
Oh, he
Well done.
watches this podcast, Russ.
He's sitting home drinking his wine right now, mad that he
That's
couldn't.
right.
Like, what did I do?
What did I do to you, Russ?
He might need a job too. So
Damn it. Des, you want to run my leagues for me? Let's do it, Des.
Yo, he can
answer my emails.
He can fund your commissioner service in 2021. This
Yeah.
is
There you go.
perfect.
X marks the outhouse. Let's do it.
Yo, the company's going to be called X Commissioners. This is great.
Yes. Yes.
Hold on. Let me DM Des right
matching
now.
butts all kinds.
Oh, J Mike's got this one. Yes, ex-commissioners. I love it.
Yes,
I
this
love
is
it.
Great.
It works on so many levels.
I'm here for that. And Russ, I'm with you in that. If we're looking at these leagues, I want different things in my leagues. Like I don't want to be doing the same thing over and over. And JD, the one that you mentioned about like the group advancing, like, hey, you have to score in the top 4 to advance out of these 8, and then the top. You know, I think that's a lot of fun. I'm not in any leagues like that though, so I'm curious, like of the stress. Like, okay, as opposed to trying to outscore this one person, I now have to outscore these 4, 5 teams. So I know that's probably a different layer of stress that you're putting on yourself, but that can be fun too.
And what's fun about it, the true FFPC style. So you've got week 14, and you have seeds 3 through 6, top 2 advance, right? And it's just an all play. So you're, 2 highest scores advanced. But then weeks 15 and 16, it's a 4-person all play for both weeks total. So you add up your points across both weeks,
Which is super fun.
See,
Yeah.
I love 2-week matchups. I was in
Yes.
one league that did that, and
those
like
are so
Peter
fun.
was saying before, like what do you do when there's just like no one does anything? You leave the league, and that's what I did. But it's so. I had a team where I was scoring over 200 points every single week. Like I was crushing, and then it was week 15 and 16 are the finals. Week 15, I put up like 110 points, and I'm just like ready to flip my fucking desk. Just like, really? Oh, come on. And of course the dude puts up like 180. And then, next week, luckily enough, it flips where I put up 220, he puts up like 110, and I end up winning. But like that week is the most stressful time ever. Like, and I don't watch scores. Like even during the playoffs, I check fantasy scores Monday morning, Tuesday morning. I check scores like in week 16. I had my phone open to that league the entire time. Every single pass, I'm like, okay, good, yeah, getting points. Like, so yeah, like I do love the idea. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff, and yes, I want a part of all of that, but like I want 90% to be normal and like 10% to be that fun stuff. Because like,
Yeah.
like Paz saying, like most of the time, you just want to know without having to think about it.
Yeah, I think the trick here is to make it simple because, I'm pretty dumb. And a 2 weeks playoff, that makes sense. I don't have to look that up and figure out what's going on. So that makes sense. But I do think we have to lose the idea we're trying to make it fairer here. Like, it sounds more fair to Russ in that example because he had a better team and 2 weeks got him the win, right? But if we wanted it to be fair, we'd all be playing in best ball total points.
Oh, that's not a fun.
No,
that's
because
not
we
really
enjoy
not
the
fair.
variance when it goes in our direction. Like, that's why I like head-to-head matchups. I can win a matchup that I probably shouldn't have won just because someone random goes off. I don't think we're trying to make it fairer. I don't think that's what we're doing. Otherwise, we know the format. It's best ball total points.
Well,
I mean, everybody's got their own their own likes about it for sure. Like I like that balance of fair and fun. I think I get that with a 2 week playoff. Yeah. Because there's still variance involved, but it's also it kind of cuts down a little bit on that variance. If you have that one really bad week.
That's so outstanding. Hold on, Russ. Keep it up, Russ.
Oh my God.
So
I don't know who it is.
So Zach,
Is that one of those
Russ's
dip
beard
chips?
looks awesome right
I mean,
now.
what's different? I can't tell. This looks exactly the same as the original. I don't know.
that's
I don't know what he
outstanding.
did to that.
Absolutely outstanding. Well done, Zach.
That's yes.
I'm gonna have to go look at that one. Or is it public? Do I have access to this?
Probably not at the moment, but you will soon.
Yeah. I mean,
We
that's
just tweet that
probably.
Damn. Got it. All
gonna
right,
be
y'all
the-
have
of
fun
my
on
new
this
commissioner service.
pod tonight. Yeah, that I'm not a part of anymore.
Wow.
Well, you just
Yeah.
killed that vibe, Gabe.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Great. Okay. So let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
I mean,
FF Buzzkill.
that?
All right. Let me write
Yeah.
that one down before I forget.
There you go. I was gonna
winnable.
say something, and then I pulled a Peter and forgot entirely.
Nice little
Dang
brain.
it. Oh, playoffs. There's I'm in a league that does. I may have mentioned it on this pod before. I don't know, but the playoffs are in the playoffs, and
What?
there's the whole regular season is up for grabs for like just record, and then points, and it's just like 1st through 4th is paid out or something, and it's weeks 1 through 17. And then it's a 12-team league, and then the top 8 teams make it into the playoffs. And top 2 teams get a bye, and then like y'all said, it's the top 6 or the other 6 get an all play.
I've
And that
already lost
and that
track.
first,
I'm lost. I don't know what's going on.
I really didn't say much. I mean, I really didn't.
I'm just being honest.
Never mind. Yeah, forget it. Forget I said anything.
Sorry.
Oh, hey, Gabe. I didn't even know you were
Cool.
here.
I
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by.
I think you're on mute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
forgot. It's yeah.
I was with you all the way up to all play.
It's been a
and then
while
was
since I
this
potted,
just got
so-
complicated.
Yeah. No, carry
Sorry.
on.
No,
Carry
it's
on.
not your
No,
fault,
your
Gabe. That's
formats are
me.
probably
That's-
cooler.
I
You're
have
probably
no
they're
idea.
probably way better, way cooler, way more unique. Fuck, man. I was just trying to separate myself like a wide receiver does, But
I feel like that's a magical
Couldn't get
segue
it.
for some reason.
I feel like I went too far by not understanding that. I apologize. I'm sorry.
couldn't get it.
I wasn't trying not to.
Gabe up
I
here
went too
separating
far by
like
not
does.
understanding.
Red zone only.
All right. Can we talk about how creepy it is that Zach is admitting that he keeps a bunch of faces in a folder?
I am aware of his face folder. I have been Cole Beasley'd many a time.
I'm just glad he's got the Potathon chair in that folder.
That's pretty strong.
You talking about like football cards? What are you talking about?
Oh, that's pretty strong, Zach. It's low key creepy and high key awesome at the same time. Well done. I'm sorry, I can't get over Peter saying.
Casey would like you to continue, and so would I. I'm sorry I got lost. I really am.
He said, "I feel like I really
Gabe's not
messed up by
listening.
not understanding."
Gabe,
He's giving you the silent treatment.
Gabe has decided he's quitting for the year. He's going to go drink his wine, and that's it.
I never saw the end coming this way, but that's it. That's
Instead
how
of
I'm
dropping
going
the mic,
out.
he's gonna pull one of these and just walk away.
I'm checking my SFBX scores now to be more depressed.
Are you sure you made the playoffs?
What's your
I don't
name
think
on
I
the
made
list?
it. I don't think I even made it in SFBX. I think Scott personally sent me a link to just draft a league. Like,
Like a dummy,
please,
it's a dummy site.
Dummy
please
league.
don't tell him. Please, I just want him to feel
It's not real.
included. Scott would be so. Scott probably does that too.
I need him to keep making intros, but I don't want him to play.
Yeah, the SFBX and the X is EX.
He sends you an email. You're in the finals. Don't worry. Keep setting.
Oh,
Congrats, dude.
does that mean I'm fine? Does that cross the barrier? I'm now fine. Thank you, Dave.
Oh, it sucks. You lost in the finals. Better luck next year, game.
I was
SFB
behind by so many points.
SFBEX. I'm done with y'all, man. I'm done with
Thank you.
Mazel tov, man.
Finally, some respect on this goddamn podcast. How many points did J.K. Dobbins score?
I feel like we should stop bullying Gabe. It's gone too far at this point. We're gonna get reported. I didn't even
This
mean
is
to.
not Twitter. I mean, I think we can go forever.
No, we were gonna do Twitter open bar.
30
We ended
points,
up on
80
StreamYard open bar, and I don't think the same rules apply.
Yeah, different rules.
Different rules.
Oh gosh. Yo, Gabe, let's hit this draft so we can. I'm
Broke
sorry.
day, Mike. Very happy.
Okay,
very
man.
happy.
Yeah, I'm broken right now. That was good. Way earlier in the
draft?
episode, way earlier in the night. Oh shoot, that was. I'm sorry. I am undone. I am undone right now. Earlier in the evening, our dear friend Casey McCoy. What's up, Casey? Hope you're well, man. Casey had suggested he wanted to know what our tree toppers would be, and basically comparing our player as a tree topper. Now, obviously, everyone doesn't necessarily celebrate Christmas, but thematically, I think everyone understands, like, hey, who is your shining star, if you will? Someone that you would put at the top of your Christmas tree, to try to not have sacrilege here. Who would be in the middle of your menorah? Who would be the win it all on your dreidel? Who would be at the middle of your Advent candle here as it pertains to fantasy football? Who is your tree topper this season? I feel like that would be a good draft, Gabe. Are you okay with that?
I'm so lost.
Yeah,
Here,
I don't think anyone understands how to do this, but
I got this.
give it a go.
You just say a random player name and spout some facts and go on to the next person. It's
So
good.
here we go. 101. I got it. So the tree topper on my tree, because I'm the Jew here, yet I have 2 Christmas trees in my house. Check this out. It not only is it a star on top, but it projects pretty colors onto the ceiling. So my tree topper is DK Metcalf, because not only is he a star, he projects stars. That's how good he is. He is a star, but he is projected to be many stars. That's how awesome DK Metcalf is and will be in the future.
DK the consolation. I like that.
Wow, that was really good, Russ. All right.
That's a great 101.
Tell me more about the star. Were there seven points on that? Is there some sort of analogy there with DK that we can keep reaching on? Can we take this further?
Yeah, there's 8. There's 8 on
There
one
8?
side and 3 on the other because it took him 8 seconds to run his 3 cone.
Nice. There it was. See?
Strong.
There it was.
Strong.
What?
All right.
All right, 102. Who's got the 102, or do we just have to start calling on people, Gabe? I don't even remember how to do this. How do we do this?
I'm gonna go number 2 because I got 2 guys. Mine's at double. It's like one of those 2-headed monsters because they're kind of they're kind of like the structure to a few of my winning contending rosters right now, and that's my boy Diggs out there in Buffalo and my boy A-Rob out there in Chicago. It don't matter who's throwing the ball. Those dudes are producing on the weekly. Couple hiccups were 10 points maybe versus 19 or 20 or more. But those two guys are just literally anchoring a few of my rosters, and they're just beautiful, man.
This is an Allen Robinson podcast. Sorry, Jim.
Yes, it is. Very much so. This is also a major mea culpa to our dear friend of the pod, and earlier mentioned from the Dynasty Diagnostic, Eitan Mosier. Gabe, I don't know if you remember the episode, but at one point, Eitan had brought up the Bills, and he was like excited about them and stuff. This is like way back in August, September, maybe, and I ridiculed him hard because he was like, "Yeah, I've been talking about the Bills," and I was like, "You ain't been talking about no damn Bills. Stop lying. Like Bills ain't gonna be this, ain't gonna be that." And hey, here we are, December the 8th, and big old bite of wrong sandwich there.
The real question about if Eitan was talking about it, how did he actually pronounce Stefon Diggs? Was it like Stefon Diggs?
Roby Anderson.
Roby Anderson.
So shout out to Eitan.
Noah Font.
Noah Font, yes. Shout out to Eitan because the Bills and Steph Diggs. Hey, big Steph Diggs fan, but I was really nervous about this season, and apparently there was absolutely no reason to be. So,
yeah,
like you said, JD, Diggs, A-Rob, whatever's happening, it's always wheels up.
Lock them in. Yeah, that's been fun this year. I'm just scrolling through running backs right now. I know we're in the middle of the draft, but what an ass year for running backs. Like, what is going on?
Every year.
Demont about to win some shit.
Naheem Hines is the 14th running. Like, what?
Well, every year there's one pass catching back that makes it way too high. I mean, Duke Johnson did it.
Kareem Hunt is the 9th. Like, Kareem Hunt's good, but like, he's having just the points say he's having an RB2 year.
Well, he balled the hell out
and he's the 9th overall running back. That's what I mean, is that like I don't necessarily care about who's in the top whatever, but just the fact that all of it is ass.
That's why you don't pay up for running back.
Wow.
Smashing butts.
So
is it Big Sean?
This is like an anti-star?
Yes.
Is that how this is working?
Upside down. I don't think you can really put a star upside down.
This is the
kind of, but
the star on the tree and the upside down.
Ooh.
How dare you, sirs? In the year that robust RB is rolled out and running backs are going to have so much an easier time because they have lack of time to prepare this offseason because of the COVID crisis, you're all going to point out that running back died a miserable, horrible death.
Like every year.
I even played.
This is the
I
year
even
of the
played zero
running back.
RB. No, I played zero RB in every fucking league, and that didn't even work.
RB.
Robust RB didn't work. RB didn't work.
Just
didn't work.
The right players.
Well, if you look right now, like top,
Draft the right
top
players.
records,
That's the strategy.
That was
the players that score the most
only
points.
thing that worked.
Oh, God.
That is
You
the
look
only
at
thing
the-
that worked.
look at the top running backs right now. James Robinson, number 3, Rojo at number 4, Drake at number 7, Kareem Hunt at number 9, Zeke all the way down at number 10. You know, like Kamara's
points
at number 13. So a lot Sanders at 19. A lot of the guys that we thought would be at the top are not, and a lot of the it's one of those things. And I'm telling you, like whoever figures out the way to take advantage of this going into next season is gonna win, especially those best balls, because you can't maneuver your roster right once you draft it.
No, right? It's crazy. It's almost like the top 5 running backs cycle out much more quickly on a year-by-year basis than any other position. I mean,
They do.
it's just COVID. It's just COVID that caused
They
it.
do. You're right. You're right, Peter. But this year they've not year to year, week by week, they've cycled through the top 5.
Yeah.
That
I
has
know, but
been,
that's less fun because it's true and it's about how this is a crisis. I'm trying to make a smug zero idea.
yeah. All right.
But J Mike, you talked about. I'm just going to bring it back kind of full circle because I kind of pulled this podcast back. You talked about going into the off season, and I asked this on our show. I usually, when I'm going in the off season, I try to unload some of my uncertain RB shares and like these are like once I'm past either the playoffs or on non-contenders, where you're trying to lock it into a more stable, I guess, share, right? So you're moving whether your RB shares into either receiver or tight end or in a quarterback if you're in Superflex, just trying to lock in that value through the offseason. But because of, the narrative, because I'm not the most college savvy or I'm going to be like you guys. Russ, I think, said it best once when I heard him, just how he approaches rookies, especially coming when you start the offseason. There are guys that know him way better than I do. So I listen to those guys. I've got a handful of guys that I trust. And that's kind of how I start my process. And then I kind of go off on my own. But the fact that the narrative going into this new rookie class is that the running back situation is very light, I find myself very hesitant to move running backs off of these rosters where I normally would, and then I'd be able to get them back, whether it's, in a trade or in the draft. As we approach this new class, is the rest of Fantasyland going to pick up on that? And are the guys holding these RBs going to be the ones, holding the power? Or am I just reading too much into, what's coming up in this offseason?
Well, right now, the trade deadline's mostly passed, isn't it? So we're mostly in a static time if you're not winning.
What?
But
If you're in a...
outside of the best of all possible leagues, the trade deadline's passed. But yeah, now-ish, if your trade deadline is open, is when you do exactly that. You're trading out of running backs if you're not pushing to win. You're trading into them if you're trying to push to win.
Yep.
And very soon it's going to switch. This offseason, it's going to revert. Those who bought into running backs are then going to try to trade them. So you're right. Now's the time to do that move. Then this offseason is when in a few weeks, when they start losing and getting kicked out the playoffs is when you can start to flip it back over. But again, your league may vary. It depends when people in your league start making those types of moves. If you're in a trade addicts league, obviously the best of all possible leagues,
the greatest commissioner of all time.
Pretty different. Can I have a raise, by the way? Zero's just not cutting it off.
How long has TA7 been? How many years has that gone now? Please say 2. Okay, cool. Makes me feel a little bit better.
Does that mean 5?
That is the worst dynasty team I've ever drafted in my life, and I don't even care to fix it. I don't know why. I'm just like mad at the startup, like getting over myself for 2 years.
My trade addicts league team also sucks, but because I'm trying to get better at trades and I still suck at them. And then they invited me to a league literally titled Trade Addicts. So I was like,
you guys are sitting there complaining about your team. Who has the 101?
I think you heard it incorrectly. You heard it incorrectly, Pete. It's not. It's not trade bad at it. It's trade addicts.
Well, I just thought it got a little crazy. Trade constantly, try and get better at it. And it turns out it's not a volume thing. You don't get better the more you do it.
I mean, you kind of do, because the more you fuck up, the more you learn about it. That's really what it is.
That was a nerd quote, Pete. Volume. All right. Where the hell were we on this draft?
103.
All right. 103. We got Russ and JD. Dan, you said upside down?
No, you gave the upside down answer, so I mean,
no, I have mine in the tuck. I'm ready to go.
All right.
But no, I let the guests reach on the 101 through the 104, and then I just take the 101 at either the 105 or the 106. Sometimes J Mike steals my pick, which he's very good at, but in most cases, home run. So anyway, Dan, carry on with your 103.
I'm just gonna go with the Kingmaker, Pat Mahomes.
Yep.
Excuse me, Patrick. I don't want to piss his mom off.
What are we drafting? I feel like I missed something.
I don't even know. I mean, whether it's super flex or regular, I'm still taking Mahomes.
Are we doing?
This was the tree topper.
Not
The tree topper.
necessarily.
I must have when I walked away.
Same page.
You literally took
the page of the lost.
I'm gonna go smash butts this way.
Smash butts.
But Mahomes, man. I mean, he makes Kelsey, he makes Hill. I mean, man, so fun to watch.
What do you think is on top of his tree, like a Kraft mac and cheese box or something?
A touchdown. Let's face it, it's a touchdown.
A bottle of ketchup, most likely.
I'm about to say Heinz. Definitely Heinz.
Heinz. Yeah.
Russ,
Okay.
I think this brings you to. I'm sorry, no, Peter. This
No.
brings you to the 104. Who is your tree topper this season?
Great. I'm so with it. I'm on the ball. I know what I'm doing. This makes I know I am.
You're stalling.
Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, that's exactly. Let's see. I know as a white English guy, I don't feel like I can say religious names or anything to do with it. It seems somehow like I'll be offensive to pretty much. Like I'm just going to avoid that. But it is the season of many things. See how I avoided saying anything and yet said nothing at the same time. It is, in fact, also not weighing one over the other, despite the fact I named none of them. It's also Corey Davis season. I don't know if you're aware of this, sir or madam, but it's Corey Davis season, and he's my tree topper. It's a season of. Is miracle a loaded word?
Mhm.
No, we good. Okay. It's a season of miracles. I'm told by some people, or some people may believe at this time that miracles occur. And Corey Davis breaking out in year 4, although he kind of did in year 2 as well. Just to throw that out there. As a first round pick is a really rare and wonderful thing. And it is Corey Davis season. So I just thought you should all be aware it's Corey Davis season. And I'm just going to keep saying that until someone stops me. Have
No,
I
keep
answered
saying
the
it.
question?
I love
Am I on?
the way it sounds.
Am
Keep
I-
saying it.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. We like that.
Am
You
I,
had-
you
am I
had
in
to
the
go that
realm of what we're doing here?
Yes,
I'm not
that-
sure.
that is
If
100%
I'm,
in the
basically-
ballpark.
Okay.
Yes,
Dan
well done.
helped me out. He just said say a random name and talk about him for a while, and
Yeah.
I did that. So thanks,
This-
Dan. Appreciate
This
it.
is that.
There you go.
Is it his fourth year? Fourth,
Yeah.
fifth?
It's fourth year.
So
Fourth year.
they can do. Are they gonna? Do you think they'll do the fifth, or do they have to do
They-
that
they
already?
They already
passed.
did that.
They already
they
passed
already-
on it, right?
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
gonna keep him though.
You think they'll re-sign him?
I don't-
Little cute Devontae Parker deal for 2 years or
Yes.
something.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
better than AJ Brown.
And then
What? Who said
Okay.
that? What?
Man,
J-Mike,
that goes
was that
behind
you?
you top things again, J Mike.
Listen, man, I do not need any of that activity around this place. Keep that. Keep that.
we
that
now
outta
have two fourth, fifth year, like late year breakout, Pete. So you're gonna have to bring the data in on that.
Adam,
Yeah, it's basically Devontae Parker and Corey Davis.
I know,
and
exactly.
Then,
Devontae
Kenny
Adams.
Pickett had a
Well,
good-
it's basically James Robinson and Arian Foster. So
they would be running back. But yeah, sure. Gabe, that's true. I'm with Gabe. I'm not. I understand.
Gabe,
no, you're not.
Gabe, do you want 105 or 106?
Take
I want
it.
to be.
Take the
105. Honorable mentions, just real quick.
You can't do honorable mentions before what? You
Well,
have
here's
to
the
do
thing.
that after the draft.
You're not going to take the honorable mention that I'm going to say. I am very sure of that. Ronald Jones is the honorable mention. It's just good to see. Don't start. Don't-
No, I'm serious. That is seriously my pick. I'm serious.
Unbelievable,
Dude, I'm serious. That was
You're
it.
You're lying. I can't.
No,
I
I
can't
promise.
take that.
I'll tell you right now. My 105. On top of my tree, we put a Christmas hat on top of our tree, and it is naughty or nice on either side. And Ronald Jones' season has been naughty or nice the entire season. I'm telling you, bro. That's exactly what I was gonna do.
It's road
If
go ho ho.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh,
And if
How?
it wasn't what he was going to do,
I'm not gonna take it.
such damn credit for coming up with that so fast. If you
Yes.
really weren't going to
I know.
use
I
Rojo,
promise. I promise.
There was just,
Yes.
literally, Gabe. You're the math teacher. Just roughly, what are the odds out of all NFL players that you could have chosen that legitimately I'd honestly think that you choose Ronald Jones? Please don't give me some
this-
sort of odds.
This
Not
is a
great,
ro-
Bob.
this is no good odds. This is a Rojo pod. We talk about him all the time. It's like him and like all the rookie running backs is like all we talk about on this pod this year.
and Cooper Cup and
Sorry,
And
Uh,
Cooper Cup and
Damian
who else?
Williams.
Josh Allen and Damian Williams. Yeah.
I ruined that. Wow.
what was the
They're
you,
really
you
bad.
combined someone
Yeah.
with Mecole. I can't remember who it was. Was it
Me
Hollywood
Co.
Miko?
Oh,
Yeah.
Hollywood
Me
Miko,
Hollywood
yeah.
Co.
Me Hollywood cool.
Oh man, by the
what-
way, no, I need to spread this word as much as possible for anyone that doesn't actually listen to my show. First of all, screw you guys for not listening to my show. But Scott Sidlow on my show came up with a new name for Hollywood Brown because he does not deserve
Hey.
Hollywood anymore.
Shade, Jesus.
Hallmark Brown.
Aw.
That's cold, man. Hallmark
I mean, of
Channel
course, he
Brown,
actually,
Hallmark
yeah, he
Brown.
does well today, but I don't care. He is still Hallmark Brown until he puts something together for a while.
Russ, he did well, but he didn't do well enough. I still finished ahead of you in the standings because I still won the week. He didn't score
Underrated.
enough. Came short by 3 points.
Speaking of 3 points, I beat Casey by 3 points. This is again DDCL because that's the only goddamn league I talk about. It's 48 teams, so there's 24 games being played right now. We had the number 2 and number 3 scores in the entire league. Like that's why schedules just suck. Because it could be spread out among so many goddamn teams, but you're gonna find a week that matter like who makes the playoffs. I'm gonna score 209, play against someone who put up 205, and there's one other dude who scored more than that. Best ball. All play. Victory
See?
points.
Good question.
Let's do it.
Add another league. No, best.
No.
Okay.
Oh, don't even say that.
R.I.P. All right. Since I ruined 105, sorry, Gabe. I'll just be quick. 106. Justin Jefferson. That's all I got. Suck it, haters.
Well, what's the? Is there like was the Star Topper? Was that like a? Were we
See,
supposed to put
Justin
something
Jefferson
on it?
Justin Jefferson
the
is the tree
tree
topper to J Mike's tree that he put out 5 months too early because
Right.
that's how he's been on Justin Jefferson for 5 months longer than anybody else has.
Shout out to Zach Reed. Shout out to
Yeah.
everybody who's Team Jefferson from the jump, and shout out to everybody who came along the way. You know what? This is a time to celebrate. We're inclusive. There's no hate, but if you hit on Justin Jefferson, and we got the receipts for you.
Who hated on Justin Jefferson though? Like I feel like he was
This
ranked
isn't-
really high, and we all liked him.
I don't think
No,
anyone. I don't think anyone
that is
hated on him. I think people just missed on him.
Yeah.
I think
Some people just completely missed on him. I don't know who. But yeah.
I think
But
just the
that's-
fact that
we
he
all
was
have
in
those,
that
though. We
tier
all have
of.
those.
I'm just saying, man. I got a Patreon. I could have told you that. Like I was gonna say,
Run it
for free.
at the bottom.
Yeah,
Rojo.
free.
Hey, took 4 years, but here we are, Rojo baby, Rojo season. Anywho, I'm sorry. That was all I got. Kali, I think this was an absolutely fantastic return back to podcasting. For those of you who are looking for total nonsense and not football talk, sorry, not sorry. We are what we are. You take us or leave us on a weekly basis. You can either love it or hate it. I, for one, have loved this evening. Gabe, are you okay with how the night's events have transpired? Is this something that you are proud to publish here in the next 30 minutes or so?
Oh, on the pod. Yeah. As far as the results tonight, guys, I'm steaming.
Steamin' Willie Beeman.
Yeah.
We're beaming. Keep the ladies.
Yeah.
Scream. Okay, sorry.
Not that much
And
disrespect to
they
Justin Jefferson.
screaming.
Wide receiver
Think you can
4.
guard me? You're
ninth.
dreaming.
I guess that was in May. I don't know. But it was bad. It was bad if you took Keyshawn Vaughn over Justin Jefferson. That's when it got bad, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, gross,
I'm-
dude. Really? Really? JD, come on.
One time I did it. I will.
Oh, gross, man. I mean, good for you for
Real
admitting
work.
that. Good for you. Like,
Was that just one of those things where you were just like
Just see what
testing out
happened.
like college? Like, yeah, let me just try this one time. I'll never do it again.
let me see if this will make me vomit.
Yeah.
I just did it that
No.
one time, Mom.
Yeah. No, it's all
I didn't
good.
inhale.
Yeah.
Because we're about to get into that season, as we just talked about, 9 point scoring off season where rookie takes are going to be flying left or right, and people are going to stand for the people, and people are going to be calling other people idiots for their takes and whatnot. And I mean, we're almost yes, Peter, that is definitely you. You definitely do that, but regardless,
Actually, I never actually insult people. I insult their takes. I've never called someone stupid or
Yeah,
said something
I mean,
That's a lie. You say it
Some
about
people are
yourself
wonderful.
all the time, and I take
Yeah,
offense
that's
to
true.
that.
That's
That's
true.
true.
Good point. Good point,
but
Russ.
that's not an insult. That's just a description.
No, see, there
but
you
that's
Nah,
there. It
that
is. There it
It's a
is.
fallacy. That's what that is.
I mean, you can have a lot of fun being toxic in fantasy football, but I don't really understand actually exchanging insults about people when we have so many takes to insult. It's fine.
Why insult the person? We can insult all the stupid shit
What
they
they
say.
thought, yeah. Attack the thoughts, not the person. That's a person. Leave them alone.
See, I come from the poker world, and you just don't tell a bad player that they're making a mistake, man. That's the way I see it.
just let him keep making the mistake.
That is
Facts.
the number one mistake.
I never understood the guy at the table.
We work real hard, and then we get on a podcast and tell everything. Like that's the number one mistake in Dynasty.
JD, that's cold, but I get it. Like I get it though. But that's cold.
No, that's real.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. You said that, I was like, dang, for real. I was like, well, wait, no, like you want to keep that edge, like that makes sense.
Well, you
I
see
get it.
people bannering some guy for a bad draft pick or bad trade, like just let him be, man. Just go make
Yeah, good
sure
pick.
better in his next trade, you know.
Nice pick.
Love it, man. Fire.
Can't
Keep
wait to
going.
see what the next one is. It's a great pick.
See, Gabe,
So much to learn.
Keyshawn
So
Vaughn.
much to learn.
What's next?
So much to learn.
Keyshawn
I
Vaughn.
did have-
What's next?
I had Keyshawn going way too high. I was tilting after 2019. I got
Listen,
so
all I
much
know
wrong
is-
that year. It was unusual, and I made some mistakes because of it. I even said that I was making mistakes because of it, but 2019 tilted the crap out of me. So
All
much
I know is
that
if you
shouldn't
haven't
have
been,
happened.
if you haven't been scouting AJ Brown since Pee Wee, since Grasshopper League, like Dan has, then like just pack it up.
101,
Pack it up. Pack it up.
101, right there.
Amazing.
Still easily the funniest running joke of anything. I legit messaged Dan when he was talking about that, and I was like, I am crying right now, laughing. He was. I'm not even gonna get into it. It's literally one of my favorite things that's happened on Twitter, probably all year. Anyway, it was great. Gabe, do you wanna take us out of here, or
No.
I guess outro us out? Or oh no, you don't. Okay, cool.
No, we podding, baby.
I don't want to get out of here either. Let's just stay. I mean, why
I
do we
mean,
have to
Gabe
go
is just
anywhere?
ready to start the show because he's been out of the show the entire time so far.
I really have. I
I
really have. I watched strenuously me lose a matchup just yard by yard,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got to recover for 30 minutes, and now I'm ready to pod. So
All right,
are
let's
we
go.
ready?
No, start it over. Start the music.
I'm
right.
definitely on for this. I think
I'm excited.
Actually, for Christmas, I've asked for the podcast catheter so that I can just do this.
I was
Brian-
literally just gonna say, if you can let Dan and I just walk away for a couple of minutes to pee, we'll be right
No,
back. I knew
Brian Hard just calls that
I
a
knew.
bottle. That's what you got to do. Get on Har's level.
the first thing Dan and I do
True.
as soon as we're done a pod and the guest hangs up is we're like, oh my god, we gotta go pee. All right, we'll be right back. And we just
Oh, good for you for waiting. Like,
Yeah.
man, like, Har needed to break the record and couldn't walk away. But during my show, once a show, that dude walks away at least. Just man, take your pee breaks. You got to go. Like that's why you have a co-host so they can ramble while you got to go pee. That's why else do you have him there?
I will say, Brian Haar holds the record of the only guy who's literally just told me, nah, when I asked him to come on my podcast. I was like, hey, Brian, could you come on sometime? He was
No
just like,
shit.
nah.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
It's like, nah, literally, I've got like work, like all the time. No, I think I'm just gonna not be in the mood.
There you go. No, this is
Like I
Peter's aggregation.
literally gotta. I'm washing my hair that night that you're going to mention. for
Peter
Brian
is
Haar.
an aggregator. You're the worst troll.
I'm
ever.
not. He's literally the
worst troll
He
ever.
was just like, nah, I'm busy,
Be
man. I
trolling.
was like, okay, never. I just don't
I'm gonna
know
wash
when,
my
man.
hair.
I was like, okay.
Brian Hard definitely did not say he's gonna wash his hair. You're like,
No,
oh,
I got the
you're-
equivalent of.
Because let's face it, for Har, it would take about 6 seconds. So, and
Like no one believes you're actually washing your hair. It's not about the amount of hair you have, but I appreciate you sticking up for it there.
This
But
guy.
it's just like, nah, I just don't think I'm ever gonna
Get
find
him
the time
outta
to do that, Pete. Like, okay, sorry, Brian. Whatever I did. I just think he's really busy, in all truth. But yeah, he is literally the only one who's ever told me, yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna find time that I'm gonna want to do that.
I really just wish I really wish he never gave you a reason. He's like, oh man, could you come on my show? No.
I know, right?
And then
No,
just ghosts you.
honestly,
no.
Just a nah.
Now, if you would have said this, Peter, I would definitely
that is
believe
believable.
this is a Brian Harr statement.
I have my
And
bow and
he
arrow
can't
slung
take one
over my shoulder. I have to go get me some elk to cook for dinner. Like that.
Yeah.
That's a real horror answer.
For those listening in podcast form, Zach posted, "I'm cooking elk steak that night, Peter." That's a Brian.
I got this elk. It's gonna take me all whenever you said.
Took down this mama moose, man. I mean, I got to.
I will say
Sous vide.
any Brian
Sous vide
Harper
for
picture I've
6
ever
hours.
seen is like him in the wilderness with like a big pickup truck wearing camo. So yeah, man, that's definitely fitting.
That's
Harvard.
that's just him. Like we podcast and he's in a pickup truck, with a American flag hat and a camo shirt. That's just who he is.
His Justin Herbert jersey underneath and his Penn State Nittany Lions Nikes. That's our guy Harvin the Martian. Hey, look at the load of that.
I'm so
Wow.
proud of him for actually going with the navy blue and not giving into my assholishness of saying, "How could you not buy powder?" Seriously, that is the best jersey, and it shouldn't be an argument. Powder blue, the
Clean.
Chargers powder blues are absolutely the best. But the dude wanted navy, and it was like sold out for 30 seconds. He's like, "Maybe I'll just get the powder," and I literally just started yelling at him, like, "No, goddamn, stop it! You don't listen to me then. Listen to me now. The me giving you shit before that wasn't real. The me giving you shit now, goddamn it, just wait till you get the jersey you want."
I got you, bro.
I can't stop thinking about you saying
Feels
ass
like
and powder in the same sentence. And now we're back to smashing
Smashing butts.
butts.
Yes. It
Finally,
always comes around to that.
Come on.
Always comes back to smashing butts.
Best full circle podcaster around.
Beautiful.
FF full
like
circle. Give it to me, J Mike. Write that shit down. All right.
I know you might be stepping on
Uh-huh.
Chase a little bit on that one.
Oh, true.
Chase, I've been around.
Oh.
This bun's spun around.
fire.
Super hot. Wah, 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 wah.
All right, we can get out of here, J Mike. We're just gonna take like 14 minutes for the outros.
Oh my god.
Each.
Each. How can we fit another draft in here? I know. I don't know. This has been fun though. You know, we get to come back. We only get to come back once. I think. I don't know. Until
I feel like you've come back plenty of times at this point.
yeah.
Unless
that's-
you're Barkley, right? You hope Saquon comes back.
Mm.
I just want Calf to come back for the fantasy playoffs. That's really all I want.
That would just destroy so many leagues because no one remembers he's there, and then so many teams
Right?
that snuck into the playoffs that have him on their IR, just they're gonna end up winning leagues, and it's gonna
I
piss me
know.
off because I have zero of that.
I'm waiting. All right. Let's do this then. Russ, you're up first. You're gonna say what you need to say about yourself. You know, maybe your wife. Maybe mention the Venmo again if you want to plug that. You know, get your weight up to try and be able to commish all these leagues that you be commission.
Yeah, look for ex-commissioners coming to your MFL league soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Venmo at Trisha and Russ
Mhm.
for any fees regarding the ex-commissioner leagues. But I'm at Dynasty Outhouse. I talk a lot on podcasts. That's about it. I don't know. I don't want to talk anymore. Someone else talk. That's my outro.
All right. Fair enough. What's hold on, what's the Venmo again? Let's all Venmo Russ or Russ's wife in it or whoever.
That's fine.
She puts up with a lot. I think that's fair.
Right?
Russ.
She provides him with that big basement he's got.
Is
behind.
it Russ N, like just an N? Russ N?
I'm not telling you my actual Venmo on a goddamn live stream.
I thought you already did. Oh,
I mean,
were we not live? I thought I
live.
pushed live. I always just do it. I don't know. I
Only Gabe, it's only the Pulp Premium folks who caught that earlier.
that's,
So
Yeah.
good point, J. Mike.
Patreon.com/the open
Good
bar.
point, J Mike.
hashtag Pulp Premium.
Yeah, my life is full of am I live or am I in the pre-show? I don't really know. So you just say it anyway. Sorry, Russ. I almost exposed you there. I almost told everyone your real name, Rich.
Oh.
Ah. Anyway, Rich's underling, Pete, P-A-H. How? Dude, come on, man. What you got to say about James Robinson? All right, let it flow, Daddy. Come on.
Nothing. I'm gonna follow the poker advice from earlier. You should all just trash him. He's nothing. He's an undrafted free agent. Please play in the league with me. No. I know what I got. I really appreciate you having me back on. I expect the band to be full effect for a few months after this again, but I always enjoy when I get to come back on. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Casey, good to see you. J Mike, someone called J Mike, Jake Throwbridge, Zach Reed from the Dynasty Dummy podcast. Cool. Appreciate you being out here. Thanks, guys. It was a lot of fun. I also have a Patreon, I guess. Patreon.com/PA Howdy. No, actually, I do have a thing. I have like 193 YouTube subscribers, and for a guy who spends way too long talking and making videos and podcasts about fantasy football, that's just embarrassing at this point. So if you could all just like get me over 200, that would be great. Also free, like everything else, but I really appreciate that. And no, thanks, guys. Always enjoy talking to you. Appreciate it.
Do it now. Matter of fact, we're not going to turn this broadcast off.
You don't have to do that.
We're not going to turn this broadcast off until we get 7 more subscribers.
That's right. Actually, it feels sleazy now. Take that back. You don't have to do that. Do that. It's fine.
FF sleazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Isn't that an actual? There is an FF sleazy.
Is there?
Pretty sure.
There's an FF everything.
I think I've seen
No,
that.
there's not.
Yeah, right.
Because we come up with like 5 every pod. And we look for them. I think about changing my name every single week.
Oh, I went down one. Thank you. Okay.
196.
Oh no, I went up 3.
No, you
Up
went
3.
up 3. Come on.
I forgot the number I said. That's cool.
All right.
I don't do numbers really. It's not-
Math is hard. He's got algorithms for that.
Yeah, fair. I mean, if it was in a spreadsheet now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be on point. But
Yeah. A little V lookup, huh? I don't know. Is that what you use? What do you like? The index? What do you like?
Actually-
V lookup? Index?
Index match.
man.
Index match? That's your vibe?
Out of here.
Yeah,
What
get
are
out.
you?
Go on.
Gabe
Go-
coming in with a 1996 VLOOKUP.
I
Whatever.
know. Yeah.
I mean, at least
I
go
would
to
like to
X.
say it's great to talk to my boss as always because he's magnificent and wonderful in every way. I actually think you have no control or can affect me in any way, so I should probably stop sucking up.
No, keep
But
going. It's cool.
I actually kind of enjoy it for some reason. And no, and it's great to get to talk to JD and Dan again. It's been a while, guys. It's been a minute.
Yes.
Because
What a
I don't get
segue.
invited back to podcasts after I've been on them once. So. It's nice to catch up, guys. Appreciate it.
What a segue. Hey, J
I
Mike.
mean, it doesn't even feel like that long ago that you were on.
Thanks, Bob.
It was what, beginning of the season?
That was a couple. That's it's yeah. It seems like a really long time ago and wasn't really.
It does, but it doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll get him back on.
Oh, I know for sure these last 3 months have lasted a decade.
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Hell,
I know.
Just a decade? Come on now, don't undersell it.
week 12 lasted a decade. What are we talking about?
And how?
Like if you're
You got
winning
an hour to
leagues-
hear about the nightmare that is changing rosters and finding projections for players that literally have no history. They're just dragging it like it's not been fun, man. I had to create player IDs for players I'd never heard of before. There was a wide receiver. I think he was a wide receiver starting at quarterback for the Denver Broncos there for a second. You want to figure out a way of projecting that? I didn't.
I think
I didn't.
V lookup actually does that.
VLOOKUP
All
does
right,
that one?
so-
Okay, I'll get back on it. I'll
Yeah,
back on
get
it.
back on. All right, welcome back. All right.
Welcome back.
The GOAT District. You know the Pope listens. Come on.
Oh,
No.
oh shit.
You know he does. All right. JD in the pod. Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Leave that on in the background, you know, a little.
I like when JD comes on because he always just plays the intros.
I bring my toys and I just play with them, man, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
No, man, look, always a blast, guys. Appreciate you guys having us on. Oh, I don't like that close up, man.
Yeah, it really weirded me out. I froze when it first happened.
And I do that to guess, and I'm like, well, now I get it. I get it. No, look, I'll let Dan kind of thank you guys on his own, but it's always a blast. Appreciate you guys having us on. I was about to say, like, if you win your league this season, props to you, man. You deserve an asterisk, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, because you maneuvered, you dodged and deked and all that good stuff, and you made it to the end. So props to you. Good luck to anyone going in the playoffs this weekend. And that's it, man. Check us out, Goat District, the Goat Sports Network, like J Mike mentioned, and Gabe. We do tons of fantasy football, and Dan and I are actually revamping the Goat District as we move into the off season. So we're going to come back bigger and better, just covering more stuff for you guys, build a nice team so that we can, cover all the goodness for our listeners. And we are kind of dabbing in the MMA world. I've got some very close friends that are in that world, and we pod together. So check that out if you're into UFC or any of the fighting stuff. But guys, always a blast, man. Appreciate you guys having us on. Thank you.
100.
Yeah, there you go. How do you follow that up? I mean,
your hair.
It's the hair.
Yeah, the hair.
I mean, I can try if
Wait,
you
can
want.
you give us a slow motion? Like,
You actually? Oh no, you.
All right, I'm gonna gif that later.
dang it.
Smashing butts and flipping hair.
that's your
Anyway,
new Twitter
yeah.
bio.
So yeah, I am the overhyped sweeper. I hang around with JD a lot. We do podcasts and other stuff, and follow me or don't. I'm not going to be like Peter over there and shill for followers or anything like that.
Ooh.
Right? So yeah, I'm out there on Twitter. Some people find me amusing, some people don't, and you can follow me and find out if you find me amusing or not.
I'm going to just throw really quickly on that. Dan is the overhyped sleeper, but I always say he's the underhyped analyst. He's very good at this game, and there's a reason I hang out with him. Trust me. And it's not the hair, because that's what I'm running.
No, definitely not.
We definitely could not fit underhyped analyst. It looks like we could barely fit overhyped sleeper. We had to remove an E there. Yeah. Twitter.
Yeah.
I've been trying for years to get mine to be gearing of all time. They won't change
Yeah,
it.
it won't.
Just one more character, man. Let Dan and I breathe a little bit. Come on.
Exactly. Jeez.
Can we live?
With
Like,
my
seriously,
spelling, I could probably get that in there if you would like some hints and.
Yeah,
Double
you'll be like the
Right.
orphans, like a group of orphans, that couldn't fit that one last letter in your Twitter handle.
Right. I just like to thank Dan.
You start a DM.
Can I have a
That's the
letter?
hardest I've ever been owned, and I asked for something for one time, and he's right there with it, man. I appreciate that. That was special. I really enjoyed that one, and I'm going back to never asking. Okay, that's how quickly you pushed me right back into my little hole there. That was awesome. Oh, you won something for the first time. Back there you go, champ. I tried it once sentence right there. Oh, I love you, man.
I'm just trying to keep you humble, Pete.
That was
That's
I'm there, man. I'm back down. Don't worry, I'm back down.
That's good.
God.
All right, J Mike. Go ahead. Nope, J Mike. Nope. Push that little button on your little.
Peter's like
There you
I'm trying new things, and like, no, player. I'm sorry, that was great. Hey, the open bar is back at it. If you're listening to this in podcast form, we appreciate you. Thank you for checking us out. To our guests, Russ's underling, Peter, it's JD, Dan. I say this pretty much on a weekly basis. So incredibly grateful that you always share your time with us. So grateful that y'all come kick it, laugh, share nonsense, and share gems as well. This is something that we don't take lightly. Just thank you. This does so much good for my mentals, as Marshawn Lynch would say, and does so much good for, I think, a lot of people who just rock with us. And it's not really that many people, handful of us, a handful of you out there listening. We appreciate you. To everybody, all the folks in the chat, thank you all so much for showing love this evening. Thank you all for laughing with us, kicking it with us, memeing and jiffing away. Zach, appreciate y'all. This is just good. This is good, and I do not take it for granted 1 second. I'm not even going to talk about it where we are on Twitter. I'm not worried about you following us or following me or promoting anything. We're just not going to be that kind. We're not going to be that kind of podcast. But hey, to each his own. You could, but you can find my main man, the host with the most, Bungie, Genius the MC, FF Full Circle, FF Bun Around, FF Buzzkill, FF Abominable, FF Jodeci, FF I Want to Zeke You. Catch the bars on Twitter at FF Man Bun. Gabe,
what about FF Rojo is my star?
There you go, FF Rojo, the North Star. Gabe, take us home. I thought you appreciate that Jodeci one.
Yeah, that last one is actually worth it. Good job. Good job.
I want to see.
I know. I'm gonna go back and listen to Jodeci tonight and just go to bed and just like move my hips like this and look at Dan shake his hair.
That's awesome.
All right. and that's all you get. If you want more, go to patreon.com /theopenbar.
That's right.
He has an OnlyFans.
Yeah, that the OnlyFans link is in the Open Bar Patreon somewhere. You have to find it.
You have to be in the $69 tier, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
For 6 to 9 months. That range specifically.
I don't know why you're all laughing. It's value. I don't regret it.
Value.
Best decision I ever made.
Looks good on paper, right, P?
It looks good all the way around, babe.
Shout out to women though, for real. That's the only reason I made that tweet, if that's what y'all are referencing. But fucking guys, so stupid. Men. All right. Let's get out of here, man. This is it. This is the Open Bar. J Mike, the bun, the abominable. I kind of like the abominable. I might. The abominable snowman's kind of lit. Might have to. The handle might change yet again. Might have to start over the old brand. Brand. All right. So, J Mike, we don't have any show lined up next week, but we do know that Russ is all of December. Russ, you signed a contract. If you're out next week or any following weeks, we're not sure what those punishments are yet, but they're going to be bad. They're going to be real bad.
No punishment will be the equivalent of my wife leaving me, which will be what happens if I am here every Tuesday in December.
Wow. Looks like we have some guests to find, J Mike. Wow. Some podcast overlord. You sure you want to work for this dude, Peter? Is this your king?
Mr. King?
Is this your king?
Like most kings, they more get appointed than you vote for them. It's weird.
Dude, I'm a figurehead that's going to be a scapegoat.
I obviously would have voted for you, sir. I wouldn't have though. No.
I wouldn't have either, so it's fine.
Did you JD, did you just play a draw of I am the captain now?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, look at me.
Maybe.
Look at me.
How many things can you have on that soundboard? I mean, that's out of date it, or you
I
have a
love
million things
I
on
love
there.
it.
That's
I love
that's
it.
awesome, man.
Really rich.
I love it.
Yeah.
Can go all
Skrillex us. I'm the captain now.
Mm.
Always on time. Well done. Well done.
All right, we made it, J Mike. I told you we would do it.
I know it. I know it.
You thought you could squeak one out, didn't you?
I don't have a sound effect for that one.
That's the greatest gearing of all time. OnlyFans.
All right, catch us in the after show. I'm gonna end this broadcast, and
We'll just be over there squeaking one out, you know.
I have no follow up. All right, that's it. That's the open bar. That's the pod. That's the tweet. We'll see you all next week if we can find 4 people that want to do this again. All right. Until next week. Deuces.